If you're anything like me, your evenings go a little something like this. After a long, hard day, you brush your teeth, put on your Zelda pajamas, hop into bed, turn off the lights, and then nothing. Well, not the good kind of nothing, more like the "I was ready to die to get in this bed 5 seconds ago, and now I'm wide awake" kind of nothing. So you try squeezing your eyes shut tighter, or maybe it's just that I'm not comfortable? Yeah, that's it. But nope. The clock keeps ticking. You become acutely aware of each precious moment of sleep slipping away and how much tomorrow is going to suck. If only you could just fall asleep at school or at work. It was so easy back then, but now, in the stillness of the night, all you have are your deepest, darkest thoughts. And that darn clock. Oh my gosh. Is that 3 in the morning? If this sounds familiar, then this video is for you. Because we've compiled some of the best tips and tricks to increase your ability to fall asleep in just a few minutes. And while we're going to start with things you should do before getting in bed, we also have a technique used by the US Navy to fall asleep in 2 minutes when you're stuck in bed. So let's start with 7 things you should do before going to sleep. Number 1 is to sleep in a colder environment. Your thermal environment, especially around your head and body, is perhaps the most underrated factor determining not only the ease with which you'll fall asleep tonight, but also the quality of your sleep. Whether you get too hot from heavy blankets, sleepwear, or just a hot room, it's been shown to decrease slow-wave sleep and REM sleep. Even when you're just beginning to fall asleep, your body needs to drop 1.5 to 2.8 degrees Celsius, and so being colder actually helps your body lower its temperature faster. You might be shocked, but the recommended room temperature is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Too cold isn't good either, but it doesn't have the same sleep-disrupting effects or the impact on your sleep quality as a hot room. Number 2 is to take a hot shower or bath before bed. You might think that being warm and cozy is what gets you to sleep, but it's actually the opposite. When you're exposed to heat, your body can't retain heat and will send blood to the surface of your skin, making you look flushed. When you step out of that warmth, the dilated blood vessels will radiate that internal heat out to the environment, and your body temperature will drop significantly. This triggers your body and brain into thinking that it's time to go to sleep. Number 3 is to remove your clock. Just looking at the clock and knowing how long you've been awake for isn't helpful, and frankly, it's just going to make you more stressed. In fact, time monitoring has been strongly linked to stress and wakefulness. Number 4, you should limit or avoid caffeine and nicotine. Coffee, sodas, some teas, and even chocolate can take as long as 8 hours to wear off completely, and nicotine is a stimulant, so avoid them late in the day. Also, avoid eating a heavy meal before bed. While some research suggests avoiding a carb-heavy diet will help, it's just a good idea to avoid going to bed overly hungry or overly full. Number 5, exercise and physical fatigue can help you fall asleep faster, but working out 2 to 3 hours before bed can make it harder to fall asleep. So, earlier in the day is better, and naps are great too, but don't nap after 3 p.m., or you'll have a harder time falling asleep at night. Number 6 is to make sure you actually wind down before bed. If you try to sleep while your mind is still racing, your brain won't be ready to rest. A relaxing activity within an hour of bedtime, like reading, is a perfect ritual to get you in the right state of mind. And lastly, number 7 is to make sure you're exposed to sunlight during the day and limit light exposure in the evening. You've probably been told not to use your phone before bed, which is true, but getting at least 30 minutes of natural sunlight every day is just as important if you're having trouble sleeping. This helps regulate your body's schedule and triggers sleepiness at the right time. So now that we've set up some conditions to optimize your sleep initiation experience, you're still awake. In fact, you may have done those things and now you're in bed desperately searching YouTube for ways to fall asleep faster, which led you to this video. Don't deny it. In which case you violated rule number 7 about not looking at your phone, but I'll let it slide if it's because you're that desperate. I mean, I'm not going to complain about the extra view. But seriously, if you're already in bed after all that, there's a technique that the Navy supposedly used that, if practiced, can reportedly get you to sleep in 2 minutes, no matter where you are. I say supposedly because the studies aren't widely available, but they claim it was used for fighter pilots who would often make avoidable mistakes due to stress and ultimately a lack of sleep. In fact, it was designed to allow them to fall asleep even while sitting up. And after 6 weeks, they claimed that 96% of pilots could fall asleep in under 2 minutes. Here's how it works. First, you need to systematically relax each part of your body. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and start by focusing on your face. Imagine every muscle slowly relaxing. If it helps, scrunch your face and eyes first, then let go. Exhale as you feel your cheeks, tongue, mouth, and jaw relax. Even imagine your eyes sinking back into your skull. Then, slowly move down your body and do the same with each muscle group. Tense and release your shoulders, then your arms, from your forearms down to your fingers, your chest and legs, and finally your feet. All while taking deep breaths and focusing on the relaxation. Once you've done your whole body, focus on putting your mind in a meditative state. As thoughts about your day or images pop into your head, try not to engage with them and let them pass. Simply think about things that could trigger your muscles to involuntarily contract. Like meditation, don't let those thoughts consume you. Try to focus on your breathing, or you can imagine yourself in a peaceful place, like on a warm summer day, lying on a hammock that's gently swaying. If you can't stop your stream of thoughts, they recommend repeating the phrase, "Don't think, don't think, don't think," for 10 seconds. It might sound silly or pretty simple, but practice makes perfect, and anecdotally, online, people have seen it work after giving it time. But the key, like most things, is to be consistent and practice every night. It's not going to be a quick fix on your first night, but after a few weeks, you'll be much more likely to fall asleep right away, assuming you don't have a sleep disorder or other health conditions. Now, one more tip, which is considered the most important tip to falling asleep instantly, and if you can't follow any of the other tips, follow this one. Go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day, no matter what, even on the weekends. I know it sucks, but we are creatures of habit. And if you want to be able to fall asleep instantly, creating a good routine will help your body run like clockwork. Literally. And after all that, if you still can't fall asleep, don't stay in bed. Studies have shown that not being able to fall asleep for an extended period will cause anxiety and will only make things worse. So just get up and do a relaxing or slightly boring activity until you feel tired. Thanks for watching. We experimented a bit with the animation style in this one. It's also a bit longer, so let us know what you think of it in the comments.